All right, here we are, game 2 between Team Red and IsGG. And, we take a look at both these sides, especially after IsGG really just ran away with the last game, and they've been doing well in these qualifiers since that 70-minute Naga Medusa game. And they're looking to close it out right now, qualify for regionals with a win right here. So we take a look at this draft. Team Red, they've banned out Coddle as well as the Centaur. And then IsGG, they've banned out the Meepo. And again, that Arc Warden. For the picks for Team Red, it's going to be Slardar and Axe. For IsGG, it's going to be Lone Druid and Lifestealer. So with these picks right now, Lone Druid probably going to be in that mid lane. Lifestealer safe lane. Centaur already banned out. And this Slardar picked up for Team Red. So we're going to be looking for one of those vehicles for the Lifestealer. Not sure what it's going to be just yet. So, getting into this second phase of bans, maybe we see something like a Ricky come out for IsGG. Sand King going to get banned out. And then we're going to see the third ban come out from IsGG in just a moment.
Hello, hello.
Yep. Ready to go.
Welcome back.
So, what do you think of these two lineups thus far? Of course, Lifestealer again. Jo seems to be a signature hero at this point.
10 seconds
Trying to figure out the pick order here. So it was
5 seconds remaining.
It was Slardar, Lone Druid, Lifestealer, Axe.
Oh, okay. So it was first pick on red.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No. I came in a little bit late on
I think
it.
it was first pick on Radiant. Because what should have happened was Lone Druid gets picked, Slaughter Axe, and then Lifestealer. And then red gets the ban.
Right.
They get the second ban. So yeah, I think Radiant was the first pick. Obviously, they took the Lone Druid, which is an extreme flavor hero. I think people have a stigma against Bear, more so than they should. The hero is definitely really, really strong, but he's not unbeatable. I suppose the issue is that Lone Druid requires multiple heroes to count more than just. In that sense, yes, it's a hero that can do a lot of things, and it also gives you a very easy lane most of the time, unless you decide to specifically counter it. In terms of draft, though, I think I don't know. I'm not sure if this Lifestealer is needed. I don't know how well it particularly plays into Axe and Slaughter. I suppose it's not bad because at the end of the day, they are two strength heroes that require spells. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was more picked for lane security and the fear of it getting banned than it.
And the fact that Jo's just been out of control with it recently. I think.
Yeah, he's played a lot of Nakes games. No doubt about it.
It's
Seems
definitely
like every game is either Jug or Nakes.
Yeah, it seems like a comfort pick for IsGG.
Right.
So for Team Red, Slardar going to be back in that 4 position from the looks of it. Axe going to be that off-laner, and then obviously IsGG. They're going to be running that Lone Druid, I would think, safe lane this early into the draft, and Lifestealer going to be going... or actually, no, Lone Druid mid, I'm sorry. Lone Druid mid with Lifestealer coming out after that.
Right. The bear will most likely mid. Now they picked the Nakes Witch Doctor combo again. It's pretty much like a very strong lane security thing. Remember the other game where they played against the Centaur and they just had a Juggernaut instead? I guess they really value just winning the safe lane and playing off the snowball advantage, safe lane carry being farmed. And I think that's smart. It's sound. It's reliable. It won't always win. And I dare say it's actually good that Red have the heroes they have. Ironically, the only hero I don't like here is actually Slaughter. Because I feel like now with Slaughter, what they have is too many heroes that perform the similar function of save, disable in the team fight. They need some more damage, I think. They have a very good death ball, but the problem is their death ball needs presence, and I don't think Slaughter or Axe really give presence beside the initiation. So what they want here now is like a Medusa type of hero. Something that just sits in there, does a lot of damage, and kind of makes it hard for GG to get in. I suppose Invoker is another one, but I'm not sure about this because I think Lone Druid actually destroys Invoker 1v1.
Especially earlier on, and once that Maelstrom's picked up for Lone Druid, he should be doing pretty well in this game overall. You know, it could be a little bit for the minus armor between Venge and Slardar, but you need a hard hitter to really make that worthwhile against the team that is GG has right now.
It is that. It's also the fact that
Reserve
I mean,
time.
Invoker's at the end of the day, he's a spellcaster, and you're running into a Lone Druid who you're gonna have a hard time in lane against, and you're also running into a Life Stealer who's magic immune for the most part. I think Axe Invoker together is not bad if you go Exort, but you definitely can't go Quas Wex because there's some anti-synergy with like Tornado and Call. But I'm assuming he's gonna go Exort, and again, the lane is gonna be really hard for him. So I think if he can somehow survive the laning phase, it's gonna be good, or it's gonna be okay at best. I'm not sure if he can survive the laning phase, man. I think their heroes have really limited ranges. They're greedy. They don't really do anything early. Like Axe and Slaughter, I don't know how much they'll get done this game. Um, yeah, it's really up to SGG to make mistakes. You've seen this. You've seen these exact same you've seen this template of lineup before, right?
Yeah.
They played it against the Terrorblade. They're gonna shove in that lane. And Red right now with their weaker end supports, like unless the Venge is carried, I'm not sure if they got a fair solution, man.
And it's something to be said about SGG that, you know, with these heroes that they've picked up and the drafts they've had, it just shows how good of a team and a solid lineup they have between the five of them.
That's the count. Okay, that's fair enough. I think so. What's gonna happen is it's just gonna be Ursa and Venge on top because Ursa is very good against Abaddon in lane. It's actually the NP counter. It's a PMS hero. It just does more damage than Abaddon, and it'll fight through the shield. And Abaddon can't really purge off the debuff from the Fury swipes. So it's gonna be a tough lane. I do think Wind Ranger also is quite decent against Ursa, but if the Ursa buys a PMS, the Wind Ranger is basically gonna tickle him. So I think Red's lineup just got better with that Ursa pick.
But is it better enough?
That's the thing,
good
right?
enough?
See, because if you think about it, Ursa's actually not a very good hero overall, right? As a carry, this hero has very many deficiencies. Mobility, lack of wave clear, an inability to farm fast. You know, there's a lot of things. He basically needs to snowball hard this game and requires the Axe to get a fast blink and the Invoker to have a good game. Like these are all criterias which I'm kind of on the fence about this. I'm not too sure if that's possible.
And to me, you know, the Ursa, I just feel like he's going to have trouble, you know, against the rage of Jo and the Aphotic Shield and really having to deal with a bear that if he gets rooted, you know, that'll put Ursa in a whole bunch of trouble.
Oh yeah, that's a disaster. Not to mention Savage Roar, right?
Yeah.
Great ability against melee heroes.
So we take a look at the lineup. Ryu is going to be out on the Slardar. Jenkins again on the Axe. Annihilate with the Ursa. Monib Invoker. Bloody Nine on the Venge. For the side of his GG, we take a look. It's going to be Mad back onto the Windrunner. Jo again with the Life Stealer. Flea with the Abaddon. And I'm pretty sure Flea played the Abaddon last time around. Stan King is going to be out on the Witch Doctor. And finally, it's going to be QO with the Lone Druid.
So they actually ported both heroes top. The Invoker scouted out the ports with the Sunstrike, as most Invokers do at the start of and they know there's a ward that's planted here now. And Matt is trying its best to protect it, but there's no way you protect this. So it's probably going to get sentryed in due time. With that said, some lanes are panning out here. Axe is going to start in the jungle this game. Windrunner just giving herself some presence here, but I don't see the point in doing this.
I mean, especially with what could become 1v3.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he knew his limits, but you don't have much regen, and she's here to pressure the lane. So already taking some damage like this is...
His pause is just killer.
Pause gaming.
Yeah.
Play without it. I'm surprised though. Well, I guess I'm not too surprised since all these guys know each other and they'll meet each other every night matchmaking. So it's probably not a good idea to settle some bad blood. But I think one of these teams could have rule booked the other pretty hard so far in terms of pauses.
Yeah, but like you said, they know each other. Don't think it's going to happen. And they have taken out this ward over up in this camp. So they did take care of that. 100 gold go in the way of this Venge. bit of a slow pace the last couple of games, and does that, as someone who's played in open qualifiers and played professionally, like, does that slow pace, that slowdown affect you?
What do you mean, these pauses?
Yeah, when you're getting
Oh,
paused
yeah,
and you're trying to get into the groove of things.
You know about the puppy pause?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. It's a meme regarding a pause that puppy did once. The cover up, or I believe at the time, the situation was Light of Heaven, who used to be a Navi player. His mouse died, but during that pause, puppy had a thing where he was pinging around everywhere on the map. Kind of, it almost looked like he was like telling everyone like what to do. This is happening. This is there. It was like right in the middle of a team fight, right? So even under the pretense that somebody's mouse died, if you're pausing to give yourself a breather and figure out everything that you need to do in this team fight and give yourself a bird's eye view, it's kind of unfair if you think about it.
Yeah.
So they actually implemented a rule in Dota. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but if you're on the team that paused, you can't move your mouse and click things anymore.
Mm.
So yeah, that's every pause is almost a puppy pause depending on where it is, especially in a private lobby game.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So up top, we take a look. It is Abaddon as well as the Windrunner up here, up against the Venge, Swardar, and the Ursa. And now it looks as though this Abaddon's going to be pretty much dead. Let's see. First blood going the way of Bloody 9, and a good start for Team Red in this second game, trying to keep their hopes alive. So that's a lane already going the way of Team Red. We take a look over mid. Like you said, the Lone Druid QO is going to be doing, or should be doing, better against Monib on the Invoker. And then as we take a look down low, it's just free farm for Jo, which, in my opinion, is going to end up being a problem.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary here, as we see. Jo is just free farming it up. We got the Slaughter trying to do some things, and what the world is QO doing?
Putting himself in a lot of harm's way, as now there's Moni, but even after this Slithering Crush, Moni might be in a little bit of trouble, but there's the Cold Snap. That'll keep him alive, and they'll bring down QO. And just like that, 2-0 for Team Red.
I honestly have no idea what business he has doing. I'm not sure if he was chasing a courier or if he was looking for like the lingering kill. I know Moni was low, but I actually just I can't see a reason why a Lone Druid would dive like that past the creep wave with his bear on the cooldown, because he resummoned the bear. Now this is gonna hurt his laning phase. This lane is actually not even fair for Invoker. He loses his lane 99%. I suppose this is the 1% where the Slaughter is able to do this now because there's no bear.
Yeah.
This is quite bad for him.
It's a little bit of farm going his way as the creep wave is under tower. And he's getting those last hits, so creep wave's going to push in even more. He might be in a little bit of danger as the Slithering Crush comes on in, and there is the Sunstrike, but just going to save his own life. So just gets out in time, and that would put Team IsGG very far behind. If he had died again, you see all of a sudden that, this lineup that we thought may not have been as strong up against IsGG, they get a couple kills mid, and all of a sudden the game kind of turns on its head in terms of where we thought it was going to go.
How odd. Now they're chasing the Abaddon with 3 heroes.
Yeah, Flea's coming over.
This is space. I don't know what to say. You should never be doing this if you're the hard carry, chasing the offlaner like that. It's just not even worth it. The idea of shoving out the offlane is so you can farm it. If you're missing farm to do it, it's just pointless. It's gonna finally return to the lane.
And now Swardar's gonna be in a whole bunch of trouble as there's the power shot and a kill goes the way of IsGG. Just bad positioning there by the Swardar.
Yeah, honestly, again, like him as well is trying to pressure without really watching the minimap. I'm not sure if he should have died there like that, but regardless, it's 3v3. And I will say, this is a smart move from IsGG, because Ursa, one of the hardest things for an Ursa to do is win the lane in numbers. Because he's very good 1v1. He's okay 2v2, but 3v3, he's not very useful.
Yeah, especially with the kind of harass that IsGG can throw his way with the power shot, the aphotic shield.
Right.
And if he comes too far forward, you get cast, and then you're pushed out of lane even more.
Exactly. They can drop his life points pretty fast, whereas them, they don't got the nukes. They don't really have the burst damage until Slaughter gets levels, and he's just running around with his level 1 sprint and crush, and he's not going to accomplish too much. They might catch Witch Doctor. No, pardon me. They might catch Abaddon is what I thought,
But to
Now they're
me,
gonna
that
catch
that
the Ursa.
seems like just such a bad play. And now Flea goes back in, and he almost goes down. But Annihilate, he's just chasing Flea. Like, Flea's a hard target to kill once he's got a couple in that aphotic shield. Obviously, the Slithering Crush comes out there, and I eat my words. But with Annihilate just chasing the Abaddon, like, Abaddon's going to survive, and you're giving up farm for that, just to chase him. It just seems...
I do think he was correct in giving up the call, but his teammates decided to pursue, and I guess the unfortunate reality is the Abaddon got the deny off, so good for his GG, bad for Team Red. They're low on resources now, so they actually have to heal as well. Slardar has to heal. This Ursa can't stay in lane because he has no regen. And again, this is when you're sad as Ursa. You're not getting a free lane from the hero pick. You're going to get contested. And all of a sudden, you can't really find a way to farm.
Yeah, it just seems like IzGG, despite losing 2 kills early on, they're doing all right. And that puts them up 500 net worth.
They actually have the natural counter. Even though what QO did was, to be quite frank, it was pretty bad. Getting caught in the tier 1, tier 2 like that. But it's still okay. Entirely because of the matchup. It's like, it wouldn't be as bad as, like, for example, Lifestealer versus a Crystal Maiden, to give an example. Like, even if the Nyx dies to the CM once or twice, he's going to come back and he's going to become stronger no matter what, right? I suppose that's kind of the similar difference, because when this Lone Druid hits level 5, an Exort Invoker just does not have the sustain to be able to survive 2 roots. It's just a matchup imbalance.
Yeah, so we take a look at these lanes and take a look back at QO. He's just about level 6. Monib is well almost level 6. And then a lane we haven't really been paying attention to, or at least I haven't too much, is Jo up against Jenkins. As Jo, he's already level 6 and has those phase boots looking towards what would, or probably will be, an armlet next. So he's level 6, has the Ignite, or not the Ignite, the Infest. And who are we looking at in terms of being that carrier for the Lifestealer this game?
I don't think they have a passenger exactly. Maybe they might try to do something, what do you call it? Gimmicky with the Wind Ranger going for Blink later. But that's not going to be after Solar Crest, most likely. I don't think they have a Lifestealer gateway. I think what's going to end up happening is he's going to maybe just go into the Bear. Or he might just go into a creep alone and just gank with like a stun from a creep or like an Ancient or something. And also, I don't really think he needs a driver either. I think this hero is totally self-sufficient without a driver.
And, the last time I saw, and this probably won't be the case, but the last time I saw a Lifestealer without a hero like Centaur, Slardar, or something along those lines, he ended up picking up a Helm of the Dominator and would just infest dominated creeps and pop out.
I will say that is totally unnecessary, but due to the strength of Dominator as an item, I suppose it could work.
So 3 are here mid.
Yeah,
Don't
there's the
know if they'll get something out on this Lone Druid. They don't get the Sunstrike. The Slithering Crush doesn't come in with the cast getting thrown by Stan King. And now Ryu's going to have to back up, and he might be in a little bit of trouble, about half health. But now out of range of QO, should be alright.
So one thing QO did here, he actually still has a Sobi mask on his bear, so I think this is something that he's not aware of yet. One thing I don't agree with QO here on his Lone Druid is that he doesn't have a Stealth Shield on his bear. The whole point of this Invoker versus Lone Druid matchup is that you have out-sustain from the Bear Meat Shield ability, as well as just the Harass potential. And I think getting a Stealth Shield on Bear mitigates a lot of Invoker's damage. It also allows the Bear to dive. As I speak of dive, I'm not sure if Francis was too deep or not, but the Ursa gets an easy kill. And this is just a matchup difference. Ursa versus Abaddon alone is like...
It seemed as though it was going to happen. It happened halfway through lane. Meanwhile, Annihilate might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to pop that ult. And I did miss that kill on Flea. I was looking down low. They looked as if they were going to go in on the Lifestealer. But then he TP'd out, and the kill happened on Flea right after. So...
Red really, really want to kill this Lone Druid. They're focusing a lot of resources trying to do something about this Lone Druid, which is fine because they're winning top, but they're definitely not getting anything else. I actually think even if they kill the Lone Druid, as long as GG can somehow kill the Invoker back, it's still worth it. Mm-hmm. And it's really like trademark QO style, to force fights non-stop and then eventually come out ahead by like a rubber band effect.
So 3-2, we take a look at the net worth. It's sitting at about even, but does it feel like anybody has that real advantage at this point, despite the net worth being at that even line?
I'm not sure if this will answer your question, but I think SGG are in a worse spot, but they're still gonna win the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it I feel like again comes down to skill level and mid game decisions, which I feel there's no doubt that SGG is gonna make the better choices of. But I also think that this laning phase is going very good for Red, but it's still not good enough. You know what I mean? Like I said, Red's lineup take a lot of gold and EXP, and they need a lot of items and EXP for it to work. They need 2k on Slaughter, they need 2k on Axe. Axe is gonna get his. Looks like he's relatively close. But the other guys, you know, they're struggling to find. And this Venge, I feel like, is gonna slowly lose his place as well because, well, he might be able to swap a teammate out, but I'm not sure what he's gonna provide beside that.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a Venge game where you see a Desolator, Yasha, or Ags, or any of those kind of items.
Yeah, he's obviously not a carry Venge, but, you know, at the very least, Venge is a hero that you normally want an item or two on. Like at least like Medallion and Solar Crest type of thing. This is a hard 5 Venge, and his range is very, very limited. And on top of that, there's an Abaddon to rub off his stun. Again, like, I'm not too sure entirely how good their game plan is forward. But they're in a good spot right now, no doubt about it. As you can see, top 3 of the 4 net worth. Access his Blink Dagger once again very early on Jenkins, so that's very good. It's going to come down to the follow-up, what they do with it.
They're trying to go in on Mad up top. Ryu does show himself for a split second, getting close for that Slithering Crush, but nothing more. Then we take a look over mid, and this Venge still not even close to 6, so no swap back towards tower or anything of the like.
This bear actually just doesn't care. He's just pushing the tower. And again, the same thing at bottom. Radiant's just pushing the tower there too. They picked up a wolf creep on the Lifestealer, and he's just ready to pop out at any moment.
And there's the blink with the call. Could be trouble for the side of Team Red as they get a little bit too deep. But there's the Witch Doctor going down. Thought for a second it could turn on them, but they've popped the ulti of Fleas back to full health. The Rage is already used on Lifestealer, and it will be an easy kill on to the Witch Doctor.
That was nice. If you actually notice, they all focused the Witch Doctor because they knew it was the easiest kill. And that's what you want to do in these fights. You want to just burst down the easiest kill that the Axe can call down. Nice thing they have with their lineup is definitely with the Axe call, they can Sunstrike, and they have the Ursa follow-up. Again, the problem would really be the Slaughter and the Venge. I feel like they're slowly losing their place again to the long range of Lone Druid as well as Lifestealer initiations. Still going decent. And I think the real X factor of control they want to maintain here is over the Lone Druid on the Radiant. This is why they try to gank him so much. It just seems so hard, and I'm not sure how much easier it's going to get. They have the tools to do it. Matter of whether they can do it or not.
Yeah, and then they keep going over time and time again, and it doesn't seem like they're going to get this Lone Druid, and he continues to just farm away. And he hasn't been hurt for any of his decisions at this point. Oh, that's a lie, as he died.
Besides that one I made, yeah.
Except for that, you know, they haven't really made him pay for anything.
He must have misclicked or something. I actually have no idea why he would be in the enemy 1 minute. That was very, very, very aggressive.
Yeah.
For lack of better words for the time.
So net worth, about 250 gold in favor of Team Red. And I think for Team Red to take this, they really need to find themselves quite a big lead because Lone Druid, you know, he starts to become kind of one of those snowballing heroes.
He becomes a problem for sure.
Yeah.
Without about it. Now, I've been talking a lot on the potential consequences of Red's lineup. But I will say this, and I haven't been talking about this too much because it was successful last game. But
J.O.
Yeah, J.O.'s dead as well.
Wow.
They followed on. They won't get the Abaddon, but that was two really good kills.
Yeah.
I do want to mention once again, as Kyo takes the mid tower, as I said, Slaughter at top almost went down. Not gonna go for it. He has one more power shot. Is it the money shot?
Might be looking for the shackle. Not gonna get it, but with the power shot right after it, it will be enough.
Yeah,
especially level 4.
That was good. He knew that the Slaughter was gonna zigzag, and he used that opportunity to close in with the phase boots and got the shackle off. So that was smart of him.
They'll probably get a tier 1 off this up top.
100%. They don't have the heroes to defend. Again, one of their problems with their lineup, no wave clear. Their supports are very level and item dependent. So, no real responses for the time being.
And
The big thing here now is that Francis also picked up a Dominator. So their 5-man presence is really strong. And if they want to exploit the lack of AoE on the side of Red, they can do so by 5-manning like now. I'm not sure if that's the route they're going to take.
And it's GG. They kind of play this similar style game every single time, where they have enough pushers to really make the other team feel uneasy about doing anything.
Yeah, they have just enough kill potential to keep heroes off the map, and they have just enough to push to keep them at bay.
They might be able to get themselves a kill on Ursa down low if he's not too careful. They're trying to find themselves a route. And 6 seconds till the stun's off on the Hurl Boulder. Maybe they use it.
Maybe on the Slaughter, but
yeah,
they're not going to get the Ursa. He has a haste rune right now, so and he's also about to pick up a blink, and they don't know about this. Is there an axe in this lane? No, there's no axe. Okay, so there's no real play. They're gonna go for top instead. This is an impossible kill. They can't get this with just the Venge and the axe.
And we'll see, because now Mad, Flea, and QO are pushing down low to take a tier 1, and here comes the TP in of the axe, and behind them is Annihilate, and there's the 2 blinks, but they get the fear, push them back. The Sunstrike's going to be on the mark on QO, but not really going to do enough damage. Flea's going to hit that ulti, and now they're going to bring down the axe. Annihilate, he's going to be in a whole bunch of trouble. He looks to be the next one to go down, and they lose 2 on Team Red, and I've spoken too early as Bloody 9 is next, and QO gets himself a double kill. Looked to set up so well for the side of Team Red, but they lose 3.
Yeah, this... Once again, they have a lone druid problem for sure. Their heroes, for them to get the reach, they need the items. Like this Slaughter, if you saw him in the fight, he did absolutely nothing. He doesn't have amp yet at 12 minutes. So all he's going to be able to do is just try to run in there and drop a crush. This is just not what you want out of your 4 position at 12 minutes. You need more. And again, like their draft, it's like, it's very greedy. You know, they need the items, they need the gold. Just don't got it.
Is there anything that can stop this push? They're going to look for a tier 3 this early on, and
it should stop itself. You can't 5v5 in high ground right now.
It's the numbers that'll stop them, but if they get any sort of advantage, that could be a tier 3 real early.
Exactly. So Red definitely have to be careful. They still want to go for these pick-off plays because, I mean, if you look at their heroes, what do they do besides fighting and picking off, right?
Yeah.
But they got to do it right. They got to do it not in the sequence that they did at bottom when GG was completely ready for the exchange. If you saw what happened, Q actually played that brilliantly too. I don't think very many Lone Druid players would have done. He kept the bear away in distance, and I guess it's sort of a Red's mistake to not hit the bear. But he recalled the bear as soon as his hero got Berserker called. And then he feared both the Ursa as well as the axe, and he didn't die during the duration of the call. That was really, really good. Now, later in the game, if the axe ever gets a call and he does it with a blade mail, that won't save him, because the Lone Druid will most likely kill himself from the blade mail. But again, we'll have to see if this game goes to that point.
And for everybody asking in chat what happened with qualifiers, it's Fire qualified in the other half of the bracket, and the winner of this best of 3 will move on as well. So congrats to Fire, and we'll see what happens between It's GG and Team Red. Hopefully not with too many more pauses coming through.
Hopefully not. I'm expecting about 2 to 3 more of these.
Yeah, with the way the pace the game is going too, it could be a quick one in favor of It's GG, especially if they continue to just push like that. I mean, they've brought themselves just out of the blue up to a 4,000 net worth lead. And the next fight could double that, because they could take a tier 2 in both mid and top off a good fight.
I'm still worried for the Slaughter, man. So he's at the bottom of the trenches with this Venge. I really don't know how he's going to be able to find the space to be able to farm. For one, Axe and Invoker are taking pretty much all of the woods. For another, lanes are just danger territory at this point because they're all susceptible to getting picked off, and Ursa's kind of got to stay in the farthest lane just to farm his own stuff. Really hard to find space on Slaughter. As a matter of fact, given how he's playing, I think he has no intention.
Yeah, it seems like he's just hoping to get a blink over time eventually, especially with
Right.
that queued up tome.
It's unfortunate, but again, this is one of the reasons why this hero started falling off. This right here, it's just hard to keep up sometimes.
And here's a smoke on 3, and they're going to send the Lone Druid over as well. They're going to try and get the cask. And
The Invoker might get picked first. Some close dodge. Good, good. Okay, so the Radiant is now in position. Oh, this is a nice play. They're going in for the Roshan from the backline.
I'm not too certain that it's GG are not going to notice this.
There's no way. This is actually a really good time thing because it's GG right now. They're very keen and aware on where they are because they're deep inside enemy territory and they know that the enemy has blink daggers. So this is actually just a really good play on the side of that. Now this again though, this is not one of those Aegises that prevents team fighting. You know what I mean? It's GG still want to take a fight here because they know like okay they snuck a Roshan against us, but we're still way stronger than them, and this will trigger Red to react accordingly. And by that I mean they need to split push. Because if they do gather as 5 and try to fight with his Aegis, I'm pretty sure they'll still lose at this stage.
Yeah, the Lone Druid already has a Dragon Lance. He's looking for a Maelstrom next, which he's not too far away from. And once he picks that up, the fight just gets so much harder for Team Red.
They also saw the slaughter.
Yeah, he's going to be
Looks
in
like
a
he's
little
dead.
bit of trouble. And a little bit of an unnecessary ult coming in from that Witch Doctor, but I guess they'll take it. It's a kill nonetheless.
Right, they'll take anything they can. Now they want to just push in top lane because bottom lane is not pushed in too deep. It's still pushing into their territory, but what's going to happen? Bounce back anyway. So now they're just probably going to go all 5 mid or all 5 top, and then they'll go from there because all the outer towers they have taken, and they'll just maintain map control.
So moving forward is Annihilate. He'll walk past these
They're
creeps.
going to find them. They're going to find them.
Bloody Nine's going to go down at least.
I'm surprised he didn't TP. I actually can't believe he didn't TP them. I see no reason to stay around.
And Annihilate hasn't TP'd out either.
Well, he has Blink and Aegis. I think he's relying on his reaction, which he definitely can. There it is. He blinks out now. He's going to be able to TP. Axe has cut the wave at bottom, but he is in vision. So with that said, that's another tower from top.
Ooh, Blink Call comes in. Sunstrike. It's going to be sapped a little bit with the Bear. QO is going to be able to get out, but Annihilate right up on him. Will find himself a kill on QO, looking to take out that dominated creep. We took a look over mid as Monib's pushing this mid tier 1. And ooh, a bad shackle shot actually comes out from Mad. He was trying to get that creep to the Invoker, but not going to grab it. And they do end up losing QO for the second time.
I think that was a very good demonstration of the power of the Axe with the Blade Mill against physical carries. If you saw, the Lone Druid actually just killed himself. Even with the good play from the Bear earlier, you can't reciprocate that every single time.
Yeah.
So eventually, when you do get caught, it really is just so easy for Axe. You just blink on him at one point, call him, and Blade Mill, and he will just die. Tough matchup to play the Bear. This is actually one of the reasons why I think Lone Druid is not as broken as he seems to be. Every team bans him because of the laning phase and whatnot, but he is definitely vulnerable. With that said, if you build teamfight around Lone Druid, it's like very hard to beat. Because then you gotta kill the teamfighting heroes like Warlock and Winter Wyvern and Enigma and these things. But then there's a Lone Druid hitting you in the entire process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets really tough.
It feels like without that, you know, you said it probably wasn't necessary for Lifestealer to have a certain someone to infest. And
Oh,
I guess
gateway, right. I guess you're talking about like how they haven't been making that many plays, right? Because they don't have the gateway.
and yeah, they play that so often that I was really surprised not to see it because they use that to their, advantage a lot, especially very aggressively. They use it to take fights early. They use it to push, and maybe they could put Lifestealer if, like you said, Windrunner gets a blink, but it just seems like there's not that ability to really make those aggressive moves.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're seeing one right now, I think. Push to the high ground at 18 minutes against an Aegis. Pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that's almost as aggressive as it gets, and Lifestealer just gonna kind of taunt the side of red. He knows that they don't have a lot of damage coming out right now. There's the swap into the call, and it looks as though Lone Druid dead again. The ulti comes in from Stan King, doing a whole bunch of damage. They'll take out 3. 1 is just an Aegis. It'll end up being 4 with the Slardar, and now coming back with the Aegis is Annihilate. Will take out Mad on the back end. They're trying to run down Jo, who's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Now they're going to try and turn around. There's the blink call. Jo's going to fall as well. So now this will be Flea, surrounded by the entire side of red, and they do end up getting a couple of kills here despite buying back on multiple heroes.
Yeah, that was quite well executed by red there to start with the swap into the call. What that allows is the Axe to not go too deep and then just get stranded in no man's land. So that was a really good initiation. On the other hand, I think Kyo kind of underestimated that initiation, thinking that he won't swap where he's not in range, or that he's able to maybe get the outplay with the bear. But like I said, you're going to show that play at bottom where you recall the bear and Savage Roar the call. They're going to have countermeasures prepared for it. And this time, I think they were able to stop the aggro of the bear, or they were waiting for the Savage Roar to come out already. Either way, the Blade Mail Axe, it really is a one-click counter against the Lone Druid. The game, honestly, VCOP, the game just got tough.
Yeah. But it still puts Team Red on their heels because they bought back with both the Axe and the Venge.
They did, but if you look at the net worth advantage, the 2 biggest heroes on their team, the 2 most important heroes on their team, are still the most farmed. And they were able to get 4 kills out of it, including the 2 most important heroes on his G, which is the Lone Druid and Nyx. The most important thing about these exchanges in Dota, it's always the follow-up. And if you think about the follow-up, what Axe did at top lane against the Lone Druid, he can actually do this all game against the Lone Druid, no matter where it is. You know what I mean? So it's like, because of this innate counter ability, they're actually in a really, really good place right now. Now, if these buybacks were to cost them their next high ground defense because they're going to die for sure, that's a different story. But I think with this buyback, that team fight demonstrated to SGG that they cannot push high ground right.
Yeah, they're going to have to sit back and try and hope to get a couple more items and maybe look for the next Roche, which does spawn in 3 more minutes. So you definitely see GG sit back a little bit more. As Stan King, even despite being that far back, is going to fall to Monib, who makes a very aggressive play.
That was nice. Pretty simple kill on the enemy 5 position, I think, but it was nice nevertheless.
Yeah.
The most important thing now is out of all of these things going on, the Slaughter is closing in on his Blink Dagger, and that means that much more aggression is being added. As I speak of aggression.
Up top, wow, Annihilate. Oh boy, and they can get it with the Aphotic Shield, finishing him off. The Sunstrike not going to be on target for that Abaddon, so they're going to lose both the Venge and the Ursa. And Team Red, they were trying to take that momentum from that top fight and be aggressive, but they just overextend a little bit too much. The Culling Blade was not there for the Axe. And the Abaddon ends up surviving, and they do take out Annihilate.
Yeah, this might be my recency bias kicking in, or perhaps it's his leg that's been going long, but he's been missing a lot of his chops, and because he got scouted by the ward, now he's stuck in the trees and about to fall.
Wow, dead again. That's 63 seconds.
Yeah. Now we're talking like buybacks are a problem, right? We thought this wasn't going to happen, but he got caught.
Yeah, and they were continuing to push on forward. The aggression does not stop on the side of GG, and looks as though they'll lose that Sardar. Rooted up is Monib in a whole bunch of trouble. He'll have to back off, so now it's just the Venge, Ursa, and Invoker to stop the entire side of GG, and Annihilate tries to go in. This is a very ballsy move on his end, and he gets rooted up, and that should be just about it, and it will be, despite getting swapped out by Bloody 9. So they're looking for the racks up top, just trying to find one. There's the Sunstrike, will finish off the Abaddon. They'll take half a racks, and there's the Rage from Jo. They think about turning it around. No, there's the Shackle Shot coming in through Mad, and they will just back off, and Annihilate will get credit for a bear.
He also went for the defusal build, though. This is kind of a, as I said, that there's more heroes dying.
Yeah, Stan King does die as well, and Mad will just sneak his way out.
So that was a close encounter towards the end. Obviously, it started with a great pick-off on the Axe. That ward pretty much won the game right there. Picking off the Axe means that there's no Axe for the buyback guaranteed, so they have to fight 4v5, and that's honestly, that Blade Mail Axe is a large portion of their damage when it comes to killing the Lone Druid. Not to mention, as they spawn, they kind of went in one by one as well. And again, I think the inexperience kind of showed in that sequence. But overall, this Red is gonna beat themselves over their heads after they watch the replay, if they do watch the replay, because they were ahead. That kill alone, as well as the whole sequence at top to follow, that was real messy on their part, and I think they would recognize that could have been played way better.
Yeah, definitely no doubt about that. And Team Red, they had that advantage for just a split second before giving it on back. And it again comes to the hands of the aggression of It's GG, though. They forced that out of Team Red.
Yeah, they did. Starting from the Venge and the Ursa kill at top, I'd argue that they shouldn't have been there in the first place, but it was a catch. It was a good catch. And so out of that, they snowballed the advantage all the way to the tower, all the way to the base, and they got an axe as a gift. So you take that where you can, and then you take it to the qualifier.
Now they'll head towards Roche. They see the bear, scouts it out, and with Aegis, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for yet another high ground siege, this time towards mid, as that creep wave starts to hone on into the mid tier 3.
We got Mr. Auras here coming out of Francis Lee's Abaddon. He's got the Dominator mech. Now he's going to finish up the Guardian Greaves, but he's got the drums ready to pop up in the team fights.
Down low, Annihilate is going to get a kill on Witch Doctor, and they'll force a couple of TPs back. It's exactly what Team Red wants to do. They don't want It's GG to continue pushing on forward. That's where their problem lies right now.
Exactly. They want to hold the line and stall as long as possible, because they know this Aegis push is not going to be better than any other push they've seen so far, and they've already lost the Raxdale.
So, with this Aegis, I suspect that It's GG, they'll heal up and look to make their next aggressive play towards Team Red. Actually, as I say that, there's a smoke here from Venge and the Axe. Sword are not smoked up, and they actually head towards top to regroup with Annihilate, and both teams will kind of be split across the map for the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Why was the Slaughter not smoked up? That was so weird.
Yeah, he was the only one in that group of 3 that wasn't smoked up, and maybe he was just late to the game.
Perhaps, but he was like right in the middle of the smoke. I think that kind of thing is just telegraphed when you're running at the enemy like that. It just looks like somebody's behind them or something. That looked real silly for a second there. I think if I was like on Radiant and looking from my vision, I'm saying there's a smoke there. I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm out. And I think that's exactly what Matt did as well. This must be stressful, huh? Casting some of these games, all these pauses and all these Nagas and Medusas.
It's not really that stressful. It's just I feel for the players, like, you know, especially Team Red. Their last couple of games, it's just been like a lot of lag, and to me, I'm even thinking further where if one of these teams qualifies, like, I really, you know, you kind of want their chance to not be hindered by something like this. You kind of just want them to play to their best of their ability.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Definitely don't want to forfeit because of internet issues. It leaves a sour taste, especially because it's just most of the time it's 1 or 2 people. And, you know, so it's a team game. So it's hard to accept that technical difficulties is the reason why you lost as a team.
Yeah.
But I suppose sometimes that's just how.
And, you know, I feel bad for both teams experiencing this kind of lag. You know, one team obviously is going to end up going to the regionals, but it's frustrating nonetheless to have this kind of lag and problem throughout the entire series and a half thus far.
Maybe because I haven't been casting too much or watching games as frequently. But I thought this lag issue thing was kind of done. I thought this was like
up top, Annihilate. He's dead. 70 seconds with no buyback as Mad and QO find Annihilate out in their own jungle, and they take him down for the count. 60 seconds Radiance JO. Oh my god. Radiance. There it is. That's...
Yeah, he went for the Midas build. Yeah, so this is the most practical. It's also great against heroes like Slaughter and Axe because they blink initiate, and so the Radiance cancels that. And also, they don't really want to be in proximity to damage the dragon, right? They want to be able to initiate from a long distance. So this dragon's going to have kind of free reign walking into the high ground, and then it's going to give leeway for the lone druid to push. If the dragon's actually able to cancel the blink dagger from Max, that's even better, right? As he's doing right now. So the lone druid's just able to get a free push off.
And it looks to be an easy tier 3 for them, especially because, like you said, there's no blinks available and no way to get on in. They're probably going to try and look for maybe a swap into a call, but that's a tough maneuver to pull off, although they have done it before. They're going to lose this tier 3, and it's looking as though their racks are going to be next. There's the blink with the call, as well as a Slithering Crush, but Axe in a whole bunch of trouble. QO in even more trouble. They do end up taking out the Axe. Monib is going to be the next one to fall. They've lost 2 for the count. Out for 45 seconds and 72 seconds with no buyback, but now they lose the Windrunner on the side of its GG. And QO, he's going to respawn with that Aegis, just hitting away at Bloody 9. One more shot. It will do it, and there's the mid-racks going down.
Definitely does look like it's GG. 4 heroes down versus the lone survivor, and he does not have BKB, so there's no way he's going into that fray with the Radiance Burn, as well as the Lone Druid and Witch Doctor Stun, all of those things that are able to slow him down and kite him out.
But they're going to try one last time. Is Flea going to be in a little bit of trouble? Annihilate, he'll be caught out again, dead for 55 seconds. Bloody 9, he just bought back, he'll die. GG is called, and it's GG. We'll move on to the regionals for the North American region. 2-0 win.
I haven't seen too many games here tonight, unfortunately. I joined the with you a little bit late, but I dare say this was the closest game we've seen out of the qualifier against this GG, and worthily so. It was a good match to see, but actually, I say that, but I forgot about the Naga game. I suppose that's the closest game, for better or for worse.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah, it's GG. They'll be moving on to the regional qualifiers. I'm your caster, B-Cop, here with Clairvoyance, and we're going to be, casting regionals coming in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, I'm on my own channel, twitch.tv/gamingforgelt. I don't know if I'm going to be anywhere else, but I'll try to get that information out to you guys as best I can. So that's it for us tonight. It was a solid stream, and thank you guys for joining us. We're going to leave you with a bit of music and a bit of ads. I'm sorry. I apologize for the ads, but we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching.